Upanishad. Peace chant. May my body, words, life energy, sight, hearing, strength, and all my senses become stronger. Everything is a part of the Supreme Lord, as taught in the Upanishads. May I never deny this truth, and may it never deny me. Let there be no separation from this truth. May all the good qualities mentioned in the sacred Upanishads manifest in me, as I am dedicated to my inner self. May these qualities become visible in me. Om. Peace. 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 Part 1. By whom is the mind directed towards its objects? Who makes the life force move? Who is behind our ability to speak? What power guides our eyes and ears? A student asked these questions because they wanted to understand the source of life and human actions. They were seeking the truth and wondered who truly sees, hears, and drives our physical existence. They saw the visible world around them, which could be sensed, but they were curious about the hidden, underlying world. They wondered if the mind is all-powerful or if there's another force behind it. Who sends out the vital energy that's essential for life? The teacher responded. The ear listens because of the ear itself, the mind thinks because of the mind, speech functions because of speech, life exists because of life, and the eye sees because of the eye. The wise, who have transcended their senses and worldly desires, become immortal after leaving this world. Ordinary people use their senses to hear, see, and think, but they are content with what's apparent to their senses. They don't often think about what powers these senses and the mind. They are closely connected to their external, physical nature and don't consider what lies beyond it. However, there's a significant distinction between the external world we see and the hidden reality that operates through it. When we truly understand this hidden reality, we go beyond death. Those who are attached to their senses and material things may face repeated deaths, but those who recognize the essence behind the senses and their physical nature become immortal. Immortality is achieved when one transcends their surface-level self and discovers the profound, eternal, and limitless essence within. There is a dimension that our physical senses can't access, a realm that our finite words and thoughts can't describe. This realm is beyond what we know, and it's even beyond what we can't know. This understanding comes from ancient teachings. Our physical eyes can't perceive this subtle essence, and it can't be explained with limited language or understood by finite intelligence because it's infinite. Our usual way of knowing things is by giving them names and forms, but knowing God is different. Some say God is unknowable because he's more than what our eyes, minds, or words can grasp. This Upanishad doesn't say that God can't be known, it says God is beyond human limitations. How can a finite mortal comprehend the infinite whole? However, God can be known through our higher, divine nature. That which lights up speech but can't be illuminated by speech alone, that is the Supreme Being, not what people worship in the physical world. That which can't be thought by our minds, but our minds are able to think because of it, that is the Supreme Being, not what people worship in the physical world. That which can't be seen by our eyes, but our eyes can see because of it, that is the Supreme Being, not what people worship in the physical world. That which our breath doesn't breathe, but it allows us to breathe, that is the Supreme Being, not what people worship in the physical world. Usually, we experience 3 states of consciousness: waking, dreaming, and sleeping. However, there's a 4th state, the superconscious, which goes beyond these 3. In the first 3 states, our minds are often unclear and can lead us into error. In the 4th state, the mind becomes so pure that it can perceive the divine. If God could be understood through our limited minds and senses, then knowing God would be like any other knowledge, and understanding spirituality would be like understanding physical sciences. However, God can only be known by a purified mind. To know God, we must purify ourselves. The mind described in the Upanishads is the superconscious mind. According to Vedic sages, the ordinary mind is just another sense organ. This ordinary mind is limited, but when it's illuminated by the wisdom of the cosmic intelligence or the mind of the mind, it can understand the first cause or what's behind all external activities. Part 2. If you think, I know it well, then it's likely you understand very little about Brahman, the absolute truth, or in what form it resides in the devas, minor aspects of deity. So, what you think you know still needs further exploration. The teacher had explained the nature of the real self or Brahman, which allows mortals to see, hear, feel, and think. However, he was concerned that the disciple might prematurely assume he fully grasped it just by hearing about it. He wanted to convey that hearing alone is insufficient. True knowledge requires personal experience. Mere intellectual recognition won't provide a deep understanding of Brahman. It can't be taught directly, the teacher can only guide the way. The student must discover it through their own experience. Knowledge involves a connection between subject and object. To achieve this connection, one must practice, theory alone won't suffice. The previous chapter emphasized that Brahman's knowledge is beyond the reach of our senses, there the eye does not go, nor speech, nor mind. It is distinct from known and also beyond the unknown. The teacher wanted to ensure the disciple understood that this knowledge goes beyond what our senses and intellect can grasp. Even if the disciple had listened attentively and intellectually accepted the truth, he needed to experience it for himself. The disciple said, "I neither believe I know it well, nor do I believe I do not know it." Those who truly know it understand what "I know" and "I do not know" mean. This might seem contradictory, but it's not. In the previous chapter, we learned that Brahman is distinct from the known and beyond the unknown. The disciple, recognizing this, says, "From a human perspective, I don't believe I know because I realize that Brahman is beyond comprehension by the mind and beyond expression through speech. But from a higher perspective, I can't say I don't know because my very existence, my quest for it, implies knowledge. Brahman is the source of my being. However, I don't know it in the sense of fully comprehending the infinite ocean of existence." Knowledge is usually associated with familiarity with phenomena, but to grasp God, one must transcend this relative knowledge. To attain self-awareness, one must rise above the material world. Those who believe they don't know it actually know it. Those who believe they know it, don't truly know it. Wise individuals recognize they can never fully know it due to its infiniteness, while the ignorant think they comprehend it. The teacher affirms that Brahman is inconceivable because it is unconditioned. He says, "Those who consider it beyond thought, beyond sensory perception, beyond mind and speech have a true understanding of Brahman. Those who judge a person based on their external form and senses don't truly understand them because the true self of a person isn't manifested through seeing, hearing, or speaking. The self lies within, allowing one to hear, speak, and see. Similarly, those who think they know Brahman through name and form are mistaken. Arrogant individuals who believe they understand everything lack humility. In contrast, true knowers express, 'How can I know you, the infinite, beyond mind and speech?' In the text's final part, the teacher highlights the distinction between the wise knower, who knows but believes they don't, and the ignorant, who don't truly know but think they do. Brahman is known when it is known in every state of consciousness. Through such knowledge, one attains immortality. By realizing this self, one gains strength, and through self-knowledge, immortality is achieved. The preceding text demonstrated that Brahman remains unknown to those restricted to sensory experiences. However, Brahman is not unknown to those with purified intelligence, who recognize it as the foundation of all states of consciousness and the essence of all things. Knowledge of Brahman provides immortality because it reveals that, even when the body decays and dies, the subtle essence of one's being remains untouched. Additionally, such knowledge bestows boundless strength by establishing a connection with the ultimate source. Strength derived from one's physical abilities can only be limited and mortal, failing to surpass death. Yet, the strength from Atmajnana or self-knowledge leads to immortality. If you know it here, that's the truth. If you don't know it here, you're missing out. The wise, recognizing the same self in all beings, become liberated from this world and attain immortality. Part 3. Once, Brahman achieved a victory for the Devas. The Devas became proud after this victory, thinking, "This victory is ours. This glory belongs to us." In this context, Brahman doesn't refer to a personal deity. While there's a Brahma, the first person of the Hindu Trinity, Brahman represents the Absolute, the One without a second, the essence of all. Various names and forms symbolize specific personal aspects of deity, such as Brahma the Creator, Vishnu the Preserver, and Shiva the Transformer. However, none of these fully encompasses the whole. Brahman is the vast ocean of being, from which countless ripples and waves of manifestation arise. From the tiniest atomic form to a deva or an angel, everything emerges from this boundless ocean of Brahman, the limitless source of life. No manifested life form can exist independently of its source, just as no wave, no matter how mighty, can exist apart from the ocean. Nothing moves without that power. It is the sole doer. However, the Devas, in their arrogance, believed, this victory is ours. This glory is ours. Brahman perceived this and appeared before them. They couldn't recognize the mysterious form. They asked fire, O Jataveda, all-knowing, find out what mysterious spirit this is. Fire said. Part 4th. She, Uma, said, it is Brahman. It is because of Brahman's power that you emerged victorious. Then, from her words, Indra understood that the mysterious form was Brahman. Uma explained to Indra, your victory is not your own, it is due to the power of Brahman. He is the one who gives life and makes things happen. You are just tools in his hands. So, thinking this victory is ours, this glory is ours is a mistake. Indra immediately realized their error. The Devas had become arrogant, thinking they had won the victory, when in reality, it was Brahman's doing. Nothing can happen without his will. The Devas, Agni, Vayu, and Indra, stand out because they came closer to understanding Brahman. They were purer, which allowed them to gain a better understanding. Indra, in particular, excels among the Devas because he came closest to realizing Brahman and was the first to recognize the mysterious form as Brahman. Brahman's nature is like a flash of lightning, illuminating everything. The mind is the tool we use to approach Brahman. Through constant thinking and meditation, the mind becomes clearer and can reflect the divine glory of Brahman like a polished mirror. Brahman is the object of our adoration and the ultimate goal for all living beings. Those who understand Brahman in this way are cherished by all. The disciple asked, O Master, please teach me the Upanishad. The teacher replied, I have already taught you the Upanishad about Brahman. The Upanishad is based on self-discipline, control of the mind and senses, and the right actions. It is supported by truth. Someone who understands this wisdom of the Upanishad and is purified of sin finds a permanent, joyful, and elevated place in Brahman, the highest spiritual realm.